Ladies and gentlemen of the crypto space, I'm going live 2 minutes early because I got so much to talk about today. I don't even know where to begin. 11:58 Monday morning, August 17th, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, best time of the day. Let's talk about real life. Let's talk about what is actually going on this planet other than 9 to 5 or whatever you want to call it, because that's not real life. This is real life. The markets, the financials, the Federal Reserve, the government, the shit that we see. Let me pop it over to the desktop. The shit that we see here, this is real life. Well, frankly, this is a bit of like fantasy life in many regards, but what we do on this channel oh so well is we look through the narrative, we look through the story, we understand what the hell is actually going on. Because there's some crazy shit going on, ladies and gentlemen. It's kind of like you can't make this shit up. Kind of like it belongs on a soap opera. Stuff is crazy. S&P 500 rises. Yeah, we're so close to the precipice of a financial implosion. I think we're actually in a financial implosion. I think we're in a deflationary implosion. And it's nice that the headlines kind of like keep everyone's sentiment positive, but it's just almost like laughable at this point. So check this out. Check this out. We're gonna start off with a little bit of saying what's up first. Let's say what's up first. Who's in the chat? Gaijin, yes. Ren to 10. Said that a little bit earlier. I love my Ren. So I'm a dark node operator, so whether it goes up or down, I can't do a damn thing. I'm just strapped in along for the ride, baby. Did you buy to just nibble? Yes. Francis, sup. Craig, my man. Lewis, yeah, what's up? Pravo, much pleasure. Barry's in the house. Favorite time of the day as well. James. Fuck the Federal Reserve. Yeah, we'll get to them. I'm going to get back to them. What's up, guys? Adam's in the house. Where can I grab Kyber with fiat? You can't grab shit with fiat. Fiat's a pain in the ass. Dollars suck. Dollars are so damn annoying. It drives me nuts. Oh my God, I'm all giggly today. It's just dollars are stupid. How stupid are dollars? What can you do with dollars that are important? I mean, obviously, yeah, you buy food and you buy shit because every stupid store out there accepts dollars. But for me, like my perspective, I'm like the real important stuff, the stuff like crypto, and to me that's important. I can't do shit with a dollar bill. It's useless. A dollar bill. I don't operate in dollars. I operate in basically digital money. Anyway, so 1 inch exchange. So you need your Bitcoin, you need your Ethereum. You can get DAI on Gemini. Felipe says, "What's up, my man?" So you get DAI on Gemini. But I don't know. I don't really want DAI. I mean, at some point I'm gonna want it because when Bitcoin goes to like a quarter mil, I'm gonna be taking profits because you want to catch the upside and minimize the downside. But generally speaking, I want my value denominated in a non-correlated asset to U.S. dollars. So as the dollar goes down, so we're looking at this chart, as the dollar goes down, and frankly, this is what I got my eye on. My eye on is the 200 EMA on the monthly for the DXY, because this is a fat double top right here. So as this thing creeps down, and if this pops through this, if it turns a previous support into resistance or breaks the previous support, oh, first off, gold, silver, and crypto move inversely proportional to the movement of the DXY. So if this thing breaks down and breaks support, oh, this is going to be rocket fuel. Rocket fuel. Woo! It's going to be crazy. Did you say deflationary implosion? Yes, we are currently in a monetary deflationary implosion because there's over $250 worth of debt out there, and think of it as a balloon. So monetary velocity is the movement of money. So right now there is no monetary velocity, relatively speaking. If you pull up the M2 velocity here, M2 velocity, St. Louis Fed, that should do it. So give it a second, give it a second. So there, look at this. That's Q2. Oh wow, they got the Q2 print up. Yeah, this is called the deflationary implosion. So that's what we're in. That's the financial status. So anyone, going to work and working for dollars and like, thinking everything is normal, like don't worry about the virus. No, this is a deflationary implosion of the global financial system because the US dollar basically runs the globe. So do I have to say it again? This is a deflationary implosion. So what the Fed is doing, they printed the 6 trillion. They said they printed it for they care about the people, and they're going to print another couple trillion because they care about the people. They're printing it because of a very simple visualization. Think of a balloon, and think of it's open at the bottom. So here, hand up. So it's open at the bottom, and the balloon is basically the global financial system. So if everything's normal, the amount of pressure on the balloon is enough to keep it inflated. But right now the velocity is collapsing, as you can see in this chart here. So the balloon is contracting. So without the velocity of the economy to keep it inflated, which is the quadrillion dollars of debt, it's contracting. It's a deflationary implosion. The balloon is deflating. So what they're doing is printing money to keep it inflated. So there you go. There's your visualization for the financial crisis that is ongoing. It's a deflationary implosion. I've said that a billion times already. I'm sorry. How about that cream DeFi? Yeah, I'm not looking at it. I don't. I can't. I can't follow everything, and I don't have time for it, man. Like, and I can't buy everything I want to buy. Look, I got Kyber up here. I got Atom. I got Digibyte. I got Ren. I got Bancor. Ethereum, XRP, the S&P. Anyway, Pavel says, I want to get some StakeNet, but I'm questioning if it's legit. StakeNet is a big deal. Now, bear in mind, StakeNet is not something you're going to trade. So I'm going to digress a little bit onto Pavel's question about StakeNet. So StakeNet you're not going to find on like DeFi DEX. You're not going to find on the top tier exchanges, Coinbase, Bittrex, Gemini. But I have a StakeNet masternode. I've had it for years. StakeNet is about to drop at some point their UTXO DEX, which includes Raiden support which is an L2 Ethereum solution, and Lightning Network support, which is an L2 Bitcoin solution. Now, this is technologically meaningful. So StakeNet could go from on no one's radar to on everyone's radar because once you're available from a DEX, like look at all these Uniswap plays. No one gives a shit if something is available on Coinbase if it's available on Uniswap from a DeFi perspective. So the same thing applies to StakeNet. If you can get StakeNet from a DEX or DEXs as they explode on the market, who gives a crap if the main exchanges support them or not? And that's the way it's going to play out. So StakeNet can literally go from off the radar to really on the radar. They have some serious DEX software, which I've personally seen. I played with their beta software, and it's really damn cool. Now, BlockNet is another one that fits the same category. They both have ridiculous multi-year in development technology that and the bottom line is from an investor perspective, either it goes somewhere or it goes nowhere. For me, it's a no-brainer. I've had BlockNet, a service node, and a StakeNet master node for years because if it goes somewhere, it's going to really go somewhere. And uh, that's it. Period. The tech. Okay, so mutually exclusive is the actual tech. So the tech is real deal. It's really really cool. Whether it actually goes somewhere or not. That was the other point I wanted to make from an engineering perspective. My own engineering opinion is real deal software. They're very smart. They built some serious tech over the years. Anyway, you feel the same about BlockNet and StakeNet? I feel the same. They literally kind of fill the same void. StakeNet is very much focused on the DEX. BlockNet does the DEX, but they they're more of like a service provider. Like BlockNet has an Oracle. They have a UTXO Oracle service with their xCloud functionality. And the X router is decentralized SPV technology. So it's kind of like they provide a service that facilitates DEX functionality or potentially even AMM functionality, which is what the Ethereum DEXs are, which are AMM solutions. Um, So BlockNet is a little bit more broader in technological functionality as compared to StakeNet. Yes, I feel the same about BlockNet and StakeNet. A little bit more maybe bullish about BlockNet. I think they're a little bit more broader in scope. Anyway, so what was the original topic I wanted to talk about? I wanted to hit on Lend. I want to hit on Kyber and Bancor. I want to hit basically all these tabs that I got up. We'll see how much we get to. Let's do it. So Lend broke down this morning. So I've been playing Lend. I got a nice position right around here when it broke out from this original symmetric triangle that I was following. I played it up here. So trends are bullish until they're not. And this is a perfect example of a chart that was bullish until it was not. So Bitcoin decided to make a little bit of a move, maybe a $100, $200 move this morning. So look at this, symmetric triangle, held the support, held the support. You see the red line? That is support. It held the support, and then it held the support, and then it didn't. And then it didn't. So look, this fell through support. I sold probably right around here. And then look at this. If I extended, so this is a previous support, extended out. This was a previous symmetric triangle breakout. This was a resistance, broke through resistance, but look, it fell through support, and I extended the support of the previous symmetric triangle, and it fell through that. And look, it bounced up, and it turned a previous support into resistance. And then to top it off, it fell through the 200 EMA on the 15-minute. Yeah, no, like I was out up here when it broke the trend. So that's what I could convey to everyone. Quick to sell, picky to buy. Look, I'm picky to buy. I wait for a trend formation. I like it. 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 Quick to sell. I'm out. So I'm selling on the way up. I'm selling on the way up, taking some profits, 1, 2, 3% here or there, and then bam, broke a trend formation. And now it's even worse. Like I would be tempted, like if it bounced off the 200 EMA, I'd be tempted to maybe get edge into a position, DCA, dollar cost average, but oh my goodness, a resistance, a support flip resistance? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. It's all about confluence. It's all about how many different things point to potential continuation of price appreciation. So this fell apart. The technicals of this asset fell apart. Now bear in mind the macros are absolutely like maybe some of the most bullish macros I could possibly think of. aave V2, which is the aave AAVE token swap for LEND. It's going to be 100 to 1 replacement. And they're going to issue 13 million. 16 million total, 3 million going to be kept in reserves for incentives. Now, basically, the simplest way I could describe it is this: debt trading. They're going to tokenize debt positions. So, I mean, literally, aave is in a position to do money markets and really what like the legacy financial system does. Absolutely incredible. So here's what I like to think of. Very big macro perspective. aave and initial release? No, anyway, whatever. I don't need to Google it. These boys came out in 2017 with the original implementation of FLEND, and Compound came out in 2018. So we're talking protocols that are years in development. And the bottom line is, aave was the first. aave is the Bancor of over collateralized debt positions. So look at this margin trend, man. aave is going to make some moves. aave, Synthetics, Bancor, Kyber, man, these are some serious pieces of technology. And then, I think about this garbage. Like these people are buying garbage. These kids and whoever's buying stocks on Robinhood, they're buying absolute dog shit when they could be buying actual technology that's literally in a position to change the planet. And they're just buying this stupid garbage with P&Es of 30, 40, 50 to 1. The fundamentals, that's the fundamental. You buy a stock because it makes money. People are buying stock not because it makes money anymore. These companies aren't making money. They're losing money. So why the fuck are these people buying these stocks? They have no idea why. There's no fundamental narrative to even consider buying this dog shit. But now What I like to talk about is these fundamentals of the crypto assets. And the fundamental narrative is these things are going to change the world. They provide the technology that's comparable, superior to the legacy systems, and it makes the status quo functional offerings of the legacy financial system seem pathetic in comparison. Now, that's a fundamental narrative that I'll put my money on any day as compared to this garbage. Yo, you want to put 10 grand into Hertz? Where's the fundamental narrative in that? Where's the macro narrative that's like, oh, that's a great idea. This is going to change the world. Drives me nuts, ladies and gentlemen. So you're trading manually on Binance, trading UI now with a robot using API? Correct. I do not trade on Binance. I do not trade on centralized exchanges. The only centralized exchange I would ever consider using is Bitfinian, which is an Alquil product, which is a masternode I've had for many years. And I think their user interface on their centralized exchange is absolutely brilliant. They are brilliant what they built. It took a long time, and it is a brilliant user interface. And otherwise, Bittrex, because they just have everything. Uh, Clearly don't have BlockNet. They have Bittrex International, which has BlockNet. But that's about it. And obviously, you have the centralized exchange that I'll use, which is like Gemini and Coinbase for fiat on-ramp. That's about it. But I'm not going to trade on any of these. But I don't want. I I want to have my assets. I have my assets on my device. They are my assets. I don't want a company holding my assets. Heck no. Heck no. Not your keys, not your crypto. Yes. So I am not trading on centralized exchanges. I use 1 inch, 1 inch exchange. That's the way to do things. Curve, and well, frankly, 1 inch. This is all you need. This is all you could possibly ever need because this provides you all of these. Mooniswap, brand new. Oasis, Kyber, Uniswap, Balancer, Bancor, Uniswap, B2, PMM, 0x, AirSwap, and the Pathfinder, which is a technologically revolutionary piece of software that they've created, which I've talked about in the Santiment article, short form article. Um, this is everything. Now the fees are ridiculous. 170. I had a failed transaction this morning that cost me $140. Absolutely ridiculous. Crazy. I wish I could find it. Oh, maybe I can't. No. Here, check this out. No, I don't want to find it. It takes too long. It's too slow with the rendering of the stream. So, but literally a failed trade. So I don't know. This is not sustainable, and this is where like StakeNet's Raiden implementation and Lightning Network implementation are going to be wonderful for trading because the L2 solutions are going to be fast. Loopring, big deal. Loopring is up huge. Loopring, oh my, I'm up 150, 160% on Loopring. Big deal. Because it's fast. L2 solutions, boy, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget about it. So, what was I talking about? Love my aave. Totally itching to be in. I want to be in. I need this chart to give me a reason to be in, but I cannot be in. I can't be in until resistance flips support. I can't be in until there's a trend formation. I can't be in until it bounces off a 200 EMA. And look, the Stoke says keep an eye on it. Look, it's oversold. And the MACD's flipping around on the bottom. So, but it's on the 15-minute. Then we pull out. Look, oversold. Looks good. Looks good. Pulling back. That's what you want to see. That gives it room to run on the Stoke. Daily, no. The daily is cautious. But the weekly, this is what caught my eye. Look at this. This is a divergence. This is bullish. And that's incredible to see, given we're at probably 15,000% gains for the year. 15,000% gains, and we've barely hit overbought on the weekly Stoke. And dare we pull out the monthly? Let's see what we got for the fun of it. Yeah, no, that's a useless chart. Absolutely useless. So Kyber, this is what has my eye on Kyber. If you look at the weekly chart, we're about to flip bullish on the Stoke. Rounding bottom, it's a divergence. Look, it never hit oversold. And look at the green guppies. Look at the green guppies. It just turned green. This is about a week. A week of green guppies, which is inclined short-term moving averages. So that this is when you get in, like, and this is like what I really would wait for a ripple. This Nobody in their right mind should be buying this. I would. This is something you don't buy right now. I would wait. So for me, for my investing, I would wait for it to go up 33% to buy it. If this went up 33% and then came down 2%, that's where I'd buy it. I want to wait for it to go up to get in. I want a confirmation of breaking through these old resistance. Look at these guppies. Look at this. To me, the sentiment I feel is like 10 stories of rubble crushing down. This is never going to go up. It's never going to go anywhere. But if it does, now we're talking. This is going nowhere, ladies and gentlemen. But if it does, and that's how you do technicals. If this rips up 30% and breaks through, and you start to see gray guppies, dare I say, green guppies, then you could buy, because look at all the upside. If you could get if you get in at 33, and it goes to 16, now you're talking. Who gives a crap if you miss out on 30% down here if you're going to get hundreds of percent up here? So there's some perspective for you guys. Pablo says that's insane, 140. Yeah, I had a failed transaction for 140 bucks. Ridiculous. So make sure you have your chi, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget your chi. Add your chi. Add your chi. So I'm not going to buy it now. It's going to take too long to load. It's too sluggish. Anyway, so get your chi. Don't forget. So love, Kyber. So here's the big picture that I keep seeing. Ethereum just ripped up a little bit. It's up about 10 bucks, maybe more, I guess. But point being, when the big boys started moving, when the macro assets, Bitcoin and Ethereum predominantly, frankly, I don't give a crap about the other macro assets. What I'm really thinking about stuff that's moving. These are the stuff that moves markets. 227 billion and 50 billion. This is not moving markets. You just saw the weekly chart. This is not doing anything. This is a follower right now, and so is everything else. So everything else will respond in response to the movement of Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is exactly what happened this morning with Lend. Lend was going strong, and then bam, Bitcoin and Ethereum said hello, and this is what happened this morning with Lend. So quick to sell, picky to buy. I'm not buying until I see a bunch of different signals saying, hey, it's time. It's not going to rip down any further because I got to protect my gains. What do you got in the chat? Who am I missing? Yes, you can get aave on 1 inch. Well, aave's not released yet. Lend you can get, but Lend you don't buy right now. Do not buy it. You got to wait. You can't buy this stuff right now. It's just not buyable. Kyber is, I mean, frankly, if you want to put a little bit in, because look at this is bullish for the long term. If you could sit through 30-40% drawdowns, Kyber might draw down 30-40%, but look at the weekly. I mean, this is going to go up a couple 100%, and if you look at Ren, I mean, this thing's up hundreds of percent. So it's a price discovery. So there's no reason Kyber can't get here in the next 1, 2, 3 years, and you find yourself up here, above the screen, up 3, 4, 5, 6, 1,000%, and you're way above these original highs of 2017, 2018. So I mean, look at the weekly. That's the bottom line. Green guppies. It's finally breaking out after all these years, about to do a rounding bottom on the Stoke, which will pull the MACD. And it's like a rock skipping off a pond, and it'll go back up. And this is a bullish divergence. It's not hidden. That's that. Adam, look, I thought you were going to get a better entry. Well, maybe you will. So here you go. So this is such a macro asset. The optimal entry is a bounce. Right if the long-term previous resistance flips support. That would be the optimal entry. But look at the I don't see this breaking through. I don't see this breaking back into the cross year symmetric triangle. So if you could get it down here, if you could get you could get maximum another 7%. So to me, when I think about entries, you get a maximum of a 7% better price. But bear in mind that's your risk. If it falls back in, oh, that's not necessarily a good sign. Well, maybe it could hit the 200 EMA in the 4 hour, and then dare I say it bounces off. Resistance flip support flip resistance. Ooh, so it's questionable. But if you see this green line, if you see a bounce off this green line, that's super bullish. That's super duper duper bullish. Or frankly, if you see a bounce, not if it goes up here, 55.30, or maybe dare I say it breaks a new local high, like 57, that's super bullish because that means you're outside the symmetric triangle. That means you have a confirmation of a bullish trend direction. That's a big deal right there. Run to the pet store and get some food to feed our guppies. That's right, Rocco, my man. Captain Weber's in the house. Always a pleasure. Good to see you. Adam, what does Aave actually have? Aave's everything. Aave is literally one of the core protocols of the DeFi of the Ethereum DeFi space, which is going to be it's the entire crypto DeFi space because everything is leaning towards cross-chain interoperability. That's where everything's heading, whether it's a custody and tokenized representation or atomic swaps. This is all going to be a fluid interchain system of dexes where you can trade anything for anything, whether it's UTXO, whether it's Ethereum, Polkadot, Cosmos, Elrod, Cardano, if they ever release smart contracts. Charlie's in the house. What's up? Yes. Had a charter with a doctor. Yep. 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 Head of infections 30 years. My advice: wear a mask. Yeah, yeah. You probably catch the original, the start of my stream. That's just ridiculous. What's going on? It's literally a freaking pandemic. It's just embarrassing at this point. Like literally, look at it. Where is it? We're 50,000 cases a day. I'm telling you right now, don't look at headlines and stop listening to your friends, and don't even listen to me. Just the other countries and other people around the world have got to think people in the United States are handicapped or mentally handicapped because they don't want to put something over their masks. Like, just wear their mask. Come on. What, are you embarrassed? Is it embarrassing? I mean, it's just the silliest argument I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, they must think we're mentally handicapped. We have the worst outbreak on the planet. And that's just mathematically. It's not opinion. It's mathematically speaking. This is just the silliest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I think people must be mentally handicapped. That's the only explanation. Pavel Lalin. That's right. All right. So we haven't looked at Ren. Oh my God. We don't even need to talk about Ren. It's above 3,000. This is crazy. I think I'm up like 800%. I was up 1,000, 900% at one point. This is just crazy. I mean, look at this. Check this out. On the weekly, it is not even overbought on the Stoke. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Ren is the interoperability, the custodian and tokenized representation solution. That there is no competition. There's no one doing anything even remotely comparable to what they are doing. The only one who's doing anything is TBTC, but that's only Bitcoin and Ethereum. They do nothing else. And I mean, look, the cross chain atomic swaps. You got Blocknet and StakeNet, and to my understanding, Thorchain is actually interesting, but their current state, I wouldn't touch them. Right now, they're like a BNB, like a Binance Chain token, so that's useless. That's completely useless. Nobody's going to use Binance Chain. What an absolutely useless network. So I wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole right now. But here's the deal, and I'll give Thorchain some credit. And I didn't give them credit initially. This is a Cosmos hub. Cosmos is a big deal. This is when this goes mainnet. This is an asset I want, but it has to be mainnet. I want a mainnet Cosmos asset. So you get, like Band, or Kava or IrisNet. I want my main net Cosmos asset, which I could delegate to a validator. And now we're talking, Thor. And you can do whatever you want. I think that their description, they say that it's not an atomic swap, but they have their own chain. They're going to be obviously using the Stargate IBC, which is a Cosmos inter-blockchain communication protocol. But it's very similar to they're using their chain to facilitate a swap of an asset from one asset to another. Somewhat of an atomic, it's a swap. You don't want to call it an atomic swap? Fine, call it a swap. It's very similar conceptually. Maybe not technically. I read some of your documentation, but conceptually to what an atomic swap is, what BlockNet and StakeNet are fully capable of doing. So I kind of lump this into a BlockNet and StakeNet type category, but BlockNet and StakeNet are years ahead of them with regard to software availability and functionality. That BlockNet and StakeNet are really like on the threshold of providing really soon. Whereas Thor just has the hype. That's about it because it clearly doesn't have a product. So this is like Cardano to me. The Cardano has the hype, but it doesn't have a damn product. There's no smart contracts. It doesn't do anything. Thor is BNB smart contract asset. It's useless. It doesn't do anything, and all it is hype right now. But come out with your Cosmos hub. Your blockchain built using the Cosmos SDK. Let's get those delegations. Delegate to your validator. Get your function. Get your DApps. I want to see the DApp. And then now we're talking. So for folks on my channel, we're running out of time here. Stop speculating. Stop wasting your money in speculating. Assign your value to assets that actually have utility and functional products. Now, which is interesting because obviously that's not always the most lucrative of cases in the short term, but in the long term, it will be. This is pure speculation right now. The second, as I said, they come out with their actual Cosmos Hub, DApps, and software, and their wallets, and their Ledger wallet, and now you're talking. Deliverables. Got to see some delivery. What else we got? The folks are talking about the mask. Rocco. Yeah, I know. What does Aave actually do? Aave is a lending protocol. It's an over-collateralized lending protocol, and they're going to get into under-collateralized lending and now debt markets where you can actually trade debt positions, which is basically what the banks do. So you're talking about literally Aave being the banking of the crypto space. Aave might be the biggest thing, one of the biggest disruptions in the legacy financial system. The better part of what, a couple hundred years. This is what some of the most disruptive technology in the last several hundred years. This is like in financial revolution, like the industrial revolution. This is the financial revolution. It's disrupting the legacy financial system now, like right now. This is real. Now, there's a whole lot of bullshit because you're going to see all these stupid assets on Uniswap and all this ridiculousness, all this hype and vaporware and all these people trying to latch on to DeFi and these DeFi yield games. But if you peer through the bullshit, this is real deal tech. Focus on the stuff that is at the core of the DeFi movement and don't waste your time on the other stuff. And that's how you're going to go 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 1,000%, 10,000% in your portfolio in the next couple of years. Check out the daily volume through Ren, though. Oh my goodness. Let's take a look because I have it up. So I got some nice gains on Ren. I have $103 owed to me per dark node. I got 3 of them bad boys. Let's take a look at the gain. Holy crap! $70 million. Listen, I tell you guys. Listen, $1 billion a day, guys. $1 billion a day, and you don't have to work. $1 billion a day, you're making $800 a day per dark node, and 70 million, you're 7% there. And can you imagine like a year or two when IBC on Cosmos is up and running, and the interblockchain, the cross chain tech, and which is REN. REN facilitates cross chain communications, tokenized representation. And then you have the atomic swap protocols, BlockNet, StakeNet, and Thorchain when they come online. Pretty sure that's an inevitability. They're kind of supported by Binance at this point, I think. So there you go. This is crazy. $1 billion a day is tiny because when Bitcoin goes 345 on its money, and it's about a trill. When the market cap, a billion a day is going to be 0.1%. If it's a trillion market cap, a billion a day is 0.1% of Bitcoin market cap going through RenVM on a daily basis. Yeah, totally not out of this world at all. In fact, it seems kind of tiny. Always a pleasure, SV. Always learn by watching your videos and follow up on my Twitter. I keep it going. I don't stop because I got to understand it for myself. For me to understand it for myself, I got to describe it to you guys, and that helps me. I like it. Noah, have I looked into PCX on DOT? It looks like a Polkadot Ren. Listen, here's the deal with Polkadot. I'm not buying none of these ERC20s. If I'm going to buy a Polkadot asset, it's going to actually have a damn parachain. I'm tired of this shit on Twitter and Uniswap, these Polkadot assets minting ERC20s. It's stupid. It's I'm no. I'm not the what was it Sora XOR is up like a billion jillion percent. If I'm not buying it. Look, Edgeware I'll buy because I could get their live mainnet asset. Polkadot dots, you can't really get them. Can you? I don't know. Everything is a little premature. Everything is, I get the feeling everything is premature for Polkadot as compared to like Cosmos. Cosmos, I could get them. There's the blockchain explorers. I mean, bear in mind, here's your dot, your Polkadot JS wallet. Polkadot. Polkadot.js.org. So I guess I could get my assets, but the problem is I'm just annoyed by having to go through centralized exchanges. So that's such a turnoff. Such a turnoff. I'm not doing no KYC. I don't have time or patience for this. When is a great time to buy Ren? I have no idea. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm not going to be able to give an answer to that because I have no idea. This thing is just up ridiculously. If you want a good entry, this is going to be Ren, my friends. This is going to be the hardest thing to play. In some regards, like for myself, this is a miss the boat type thing. There is no entry on this. I would forget about it if it was me. You can never play this. Look at this. Who could play this? It's just up. Something this far up could fall to previous support, and I mean, look at it. It's holding the 200 EMA on the 15-minute chart. But what's support? I don't know. Maybe you got something like this. So you got a 200 EMA. You got the red. Pop to the 30. I mean, this thing could easily hit the 200 EMA. Here, look at that. You see, this is why lines on a chart make sense. Oh, look at that. So that red line that I drew at the 15 coincides with the 200 EMA at the 1 hour. So, this thing could easily go through the 15 and the 30 if it was a bearish enough move, if there was enough of a Bitcoin and Ethereum move. It could rip right through, and you're talking a big rip to the downside. So this is why you kind of got to watch your prices. Quick to sell, picky to buy, because you could easily have a almost 20% rip to the downside. Not quite sure how. I can't tell you guys. The risk reward analysis, never go all in, never spread too thin, portfolio balance, protect your gains, all these fancy things that I talk about. Because this is a lot of risk right now. A lot of risk, a lot to lose. So be very careful. What else we got? What am I missing? It's a race to the nodes. There is no entry. Listen, that's the bottom line. This is a decaying deflationary asset. I'm going to end on this note. I'm over a bit. Rent is supply disruption, incentivized supply disruption. People want nodes, and they're wanting, which is disrupting the supply. There's less circulating supply. But as nodes get more expensive and rent appreciates, you're going to have less and less nodes every epoch. So that's why it's decaying deflationary. It's less and less supply disruption as less and less nodes are bonded and brought online. Um, so that's the bottom line. Anyway, so was it Paul says take a look at Lend? All right, cool. So it broke through the previous resistance. So let's take a look. So I would look for, I would love for it to pull down and bounce off the red line. But now that we have this other red line up here, you got to see it like blast through. And now that we're at a time range post convergence, right here where the mouse is, post convergence of the red and the green, you got to kind of see it blast through and print the new higher high. Otherwise, you got some questionability. Here, look at this. Look at that, blasting through on the 5 minutes, so that is quite bullish. 15 min. Look at that. You're almost at overbought on the Stoke on the 15 minute. On the 5 minute, you're very overbought. This could easily pull back, and it could treat the 200 EMA on the 5 minute as resistance. The last thing I would do is buy right here. Still, even with that little tick that you see, you got to wait. I don't want, because this thing could just rip down. It could rip down to right here. I don't know. 4 hour. See, for the longer time frames, all of the stuff that happens, all that little micro stuff, you don't see at the macro level. It all gets muted, which is why it's so much easier to trade at the longer time frames. The problem is, when you're looking at the longer time frames, you got 20, 30% rips and dips that are kind of ignored. You won't see them, but that's 20, 30% rips and dips. Look at that. You don't see any of this moving on the weekly. Any of today's moving, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8%. And that's cool. This looks good. Look at that bullish signal cross. The signal line looks like it's looping up around. MACD looks solid, uptrend. From a weekly perspective, Lend is a buy. From a short-term perspective, I wait for confluence, more confluence for an entry. Pavel says, "Don't end. I need to learn." Let's take a look at the shorter term. Let's look at Lend for a second. But I'm gonna jump off in a minute, guys. Yeah, like Lend, what I would do probably for the next like 15, 20 minutes if I didn't have to go back to work, is I'd wait for this to hit the red line. I want to see some upward movement here. And I'd really, for me to get back in, I'd really like to see it take out these previous resistance and support lines and probably even print the new higher high. So I wait for it to go up. So I'd miss out on all those gains because I'm thinking long term. And I don't care about 2%, 3%. What I care about is looking at this, and you know how much gains this is going to be here. Look at me price down here. You know how much gains this is going to be? There you go. You get into overbought, and you talk about 117% gains. So I want to ride that wave. I don't want to ride this wave. I have no interest in this wave. Let's go back to the weekly. I want that wave, 117%. I don't want 4%. So I'm holding. I wait for confluence. I wait for it to break out to a higher high. And then we're using this as support. And then you're talking about these green and red lines are support. And that'd be the bottom. A bounce off here. And now you're talking about upward momentum. Any thoughts on DAG? No idea. I don't know what it is. I can't speak to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 12:42 on a Monday, August 17th. I'm 12 minutes over because we have such a good time talking about stuff that matters. I thank everyone for joining. PCX is not an ERC20. Put Chain X on your radar, you'll thank me later. PCX is what then, if it's not an ERC20? PCX crypto. You got me. You got me Googling. Chain X. So, Chain X crypto. I was right there, chainx.org. Okay. Crypto asset gateway for Polkadot ecosystem. So what is it? Is it its own blockchain? I'm gonna have to look into this, but it's interesting. But I need is if there's this is interesting. Well, it's interesting. I mean, look, there's going to be a lot of cross-chain solutions, cross-chain technologies. Anyway, I said everyone. Everyone's already saying goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you. Peace.